So as promised, the pelvic floor um, is, there's three muscles in the pelvic floor. And, but it also is made up of all sorts of muscles, bones, um, organs. So there's a lot going on down there. And if you think of your pelvic floor as just those lowest three layers of muscles in your pelvic floor, then you're missing out on all of the scaffolding that surrounds it. So we're talking about, your hip bones, your sitting bones. We're talking about your lowest abdominal muscles, as well as those internal organs. So for women, that would be the bladder, the uterus, and the rectum. And for men, that would be the bladder, the rectum, the testes, the seminal glands, as well as the prostate. So lots of stuff happening. And the easiest way to bring some health and function to your pelvic floor is through your breath. And that is the breath that we do so often in these yoga classes, which is just a full, deep, diaphragmatic breath. So if you do have a yoga block, or even if you have a pillow handy and you can just grab that, go ahead and just place it against your belly and hold on to it. We're not pressing it in. You're just, gently clasping it so you can feel it against your belly. I'm sitting at about the middle of my chair. If you want to sit back in your chair, go ahead, as long as you don't, slump down into it. Because when we slump, the breath collapses. So we want this nice, long, elongated spine so we can really feel our breath. So get comfortable. And just take note here of your feet. Are the knees out to the side and you've got a lot more weight on the outside edges of your feet, or are you sitting like this? So try to bring your feet under your knees. You can lift your toes if you'd like to and maybe wiggle them around a little bit. And without pressing your feet into the floor with any sort of force, just feel your feet on the floor. The arches of your feet are connected to the lowest pelvic floor muscles through a line of fascia that runs up the inner leg. So your feet play a big role in your pelvic floor. So once you've established that connection, your feet are flat on the floor, you can feel them in the floor, you've got a block or a pillow, or maybe just your hands clasped in front of your belly. Take a breath and let it go. You can let it go however you want. You can sigh it out, you can blow it out through your pursed lips, or just through your nose. But do a few breaths and just feel what you feel. So there's no wrong thing to feel here. This is your breath. And then if you'd like to kind of relax your eyes, let your gaze drift down to the floor, or maybe you like to close your eyes. You're always free to close your eyes if that's what you prefer. But if you're gazing down at the floor or with your eyes closed, begin to pay a little bit more attention to your breath and let it sink down into the belly. So on your inhale, you'll feel the belly kind of expand into your block, your pillow, or your hand. You'll feel it move away. You can even look at whatever you're holding and see that it's maybe moving away from your body the tiniest bit. We're not trying to distend the abdomen. We're not trying to push the abdomen out with any sort of force, just allowing the breath to sink down into the abdomen. Continue to breathe in this way. And while we're here, and while we're settling in, if you'd like to set an intention for your practice today, you can take a moment to set one now. And letting that go, we're going to add just a little bit of a different component into your breath. So take a breath in whenever you're ready. Feel the belly expand. And as you exhale, make a shushing sound. And shush your breath all the way out until you cannot feel any breath left. There is no breath left to exhale or expel. So take a breath here. And I'm not sure if my mic will pick it up, but on your exhale, shush. Keep doing that. Keep inhaling and exhaling with a shush. What you might be feeling on the exhale is that these lowest abdominal muscles really start to squeeze in and engage. And those are the muscles that are really connected to the pelvic floor, those lowest abdominals. You may feel your abdomen or your diaphragm, start to also maybe pull in or pull in and up. And that's because what's happening when we take a breath in is the diaphragm pushes down on our inhale. So all of the organs, the ones we just talked about that live below your diaphragm, are displaced. They're kind of moved out of the way so the diaphragm can lower. And that's why the belly expands. And then when you exhale, the diaphragm moves back up to where it was. And the organs go back into place. This breath pattern is also crucial for digestion in terms of the digestive health of your large intestine. Your intestines depend on that kind of a steady kind of waxing and waning of your breath, the displacement of the organs. The intestines also have to make room for the diaphragm. And then on the exhale, everything going back to where it was. That really gentle kind of expansion and contraction in the abdomen can go a long way and can really help in any digestive issues, particularly constipation. So breathing that way as you go to the bathroom in a nice, really gentle way can be helpful. It's an unexpected digestive health talk there. Let's take one more breath. Breathe in. Exhale with a shush. Now, at the end of that exhale, if you've got a block, just put it down. If you have a yoga strap, go ahead and grab it. If not, bring your hands to your ribs. More towards the lower rib, so not way up high, down low. If you have a strap, you can put it around your ribs so that you can feel it a little bit lower on your ribs. And then just pull the strap towards the front of the room. And breathe again. Inhale and exhale. Breathe in. Let it go. Breathe in. and let that go. Breathe in a few more times like this and see if you can feel your rib cage expand a little bit. And it doesn't have to feel like a huge widening of your ribs, but you maybe feel something. Or maybe you feel it wrap around into the back, the very back ribs. And then when you're ready, you can drop the strap and let that go. And just pop mine off to the side. And we're going to begin with pelvic tilt. So I'm going to turn sideways. You can stay where you are. I'm going to sit up a little bit more towards the top of my chair. When I do that, so if I'm like this and I move forward, you'll see my knees come forward. If that feels comfortable for you, you can keep them there. But I'm going to move mine out so that my knees and ankles are in line. Hanging on to the chair. Now, often you'll see us do cat-cow right now. And that would be where the whole spine, expands and or flexes and extends. We're just going to work on the lower half, a pelvic tilt. So the rest of your back stays still, and we're just tucking the tail and untucking the tail. Tucking the tail and untucking the tail. And if you want to, you can bring a hand to your belly, a hand to your sacrum, tuck your tail, untuck your tail. We're really not going for the full spinal cat-cow. This is just the very bottom edge of it. Tuck and untuck. And now, if you've been holding your breath while you're doing this, think about inhaling as you untuck and exhaling as you tuck. Breathe in, untuck. Breathe out, tuck. Breathe in. Breathe out, 1. Breathe in. Breathe out, 2. Breathe in. Breathe out, 3. Inhale. Come all the way back to a neutral spine. And then I'm going to turn back. And if you're not already at the middle of your chair, just move one hip in front of the other and scoot your way to about the middle. And then, like we've done so many times before, grab whatever flesh is on the upper thigh, turn it to the outside of your chair. And that gives us a nice wide base. And when you do that, make sure your knees don't come out to the side. So you might be able to feel your sitting bones a little bit more pronounced when we sit this way. We're going to start with a barrel roll just so we can get a sense of the shifting quality of our sitting bones. So take it doesn't matter what side you start on. I'm going to start on the left. And I'm going to move my ribs out to the left. And then I'm going to round my back slightly so my spine goes towards the back of the chair. And then my ribs come out to the right. And they circle around to the front. So my ribs press forward. And then continue in this circular way. Also called a barrel roll. But notice as we're doing this, how your weight shifts from one sitting bone to the other. So that's just kind of a byproduct of the movement that we're really doing, which is this kind of a rib and spine rotation. The sitting bones are just kind of responding and reacting to this movement. Wherever you are, stop and then go the other way. So just reverse the movement. So the sitting bones are getting more weight on one side than the other because of the way we are moving. We're going to begin to lift one sitting bone at a time intentionally, with our ribs and our spine being still. But we've still got a couple more of these to do. So your sitting bones are like if you think of your hip bones as looking like ears, your sitting bones are like the ear lobes. Sometimes it helps to have a visual. Wherever you are, you can just stop, come back, and just sit with a straight spine for just a breath or two. Let your body get used to being still now. And we're going to move into sitting bone lifts, let's call it. This is a tiny, tiny movement. Because I'll show you what we don't want. We don't want this. We want our feet flat on the floor. Shift your weight over to one side and see if you can just lift just the sitting bone up off of the chair without anything else being lifted. And you'll notice the work that's happening in the lowest abdominals. Bring that back down, come back to center, and then you'll shift slightly to the other side and just lift the sitting bone up off the chair. So the opposite side, the sitting bone will be pressing down a little bit more firmly. Come back to center, and then other side, lift. Take some notes here just for your own personal survey. Go side to side, back and forth. Is it easier for one side to lift than the other? Do you feel more engagement in your abdominals on one side than the other? These are all clues as to where maybe one side of your pelvic floor could be weak. Because contrary to popular opinion, if you have a pelvic floor, let's say, that is too weak, that's too lax, it doesn't mean the entire pelvic floor is too weak. It might mean part of it is weak and part of it is too tense. Maybe your right side is a little bit weaker, but your left side is a little too tense. That can happen. More evidence that we are not as symmetrical as we think. One more each side, wherever you are. And this can just be a really great thing to do, especially if you're, watching television or you're sitting at your desk. Just move into some pelvic tilts or pelvic lifts, sitting bone lifts, all part of the pelvis. And then come back to center and to just reset, just sway your spine. So not a barrel roll, just kind of the spine just kind of undulates. And then come back to center. We're going to do some side stretching. Right now we don't need the block, but we will in a little minute. So right hand comes down to the side of the chair. You can grab onto the edge of the chair. If you have rungs, grab onto the rungs. And then left hand can come to your hip. It can come to your shoulder. It can come to the back of your head. But take a breath here. And as you exhale, keeping your sitting bones, now that we know where they are and we can feel them, on the chair, tip to the right without lifting the sitting bones. Try to have equal pressure on both your sitting bones. That might mean you have to come up a little bit. If your hand is behind your head and you want to extend it, you can go ahead and do that. I actually had a flu shot in this arm today, so it's a little bit sore. Take a breath. Check your knees. Make sure they're not splaying out to the side. And breathe into these left side ribs. You might feel a little bit more expansion on that side just because of the shape we're in. So you're getting a nice deep stretch for the intercostal muscles, which are between the ribs. If your head is tipping down, lift it up. Press the back of your head into the back of your hand. Maybe one more breath here. And remember how this feels. We will revisit it. And on your next inhale, come all the way back up. Hands come down. Let's go back to that sway since we've been tipped to one side for a little while. Other side, left hand grabs a hold of the side of the chair, or if you have a rung, right hand to your hip or your shoulder or behind your head. Feet are pressing down. Sitting bones are firmly planted. Take a breath, and as you exhale, tip over towards the left, keeping equal-ish weight on the sitting bones. You may feel a little more weight on your left side just because of, gravity and the way we're leaning. But make sure you can still feel your right sitting bone. And if you'd like to extend this, let's see, right arm, it could be straight up. It could be drifting towards the left. There's a lot of abdominal work going on here. It's more than just a side stretch. So we'll hold for 3 more. Breathe in. Feel the ribs expand. Breathe out 1. And your inhale and exhale may not match mine. That's okay. Just keep going. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Is your head tipping down? Press it back. Last breath here. Breathe in. And breathe out 3. Your next inhale, come all the way back up. And just cross one hand over the other in front of your chest and do a barrel roll in this way. 3 in one direction and then 3 going the other way. Come back to center and take 2 fists, put them together and put them between your knees. And if your knees aren't touching, toe heel them in so they are. We're going to squeeze into the knees, and you'll feel that on the inner thighs. While we're here, remember to breathe. When we're doing something like this that requires that sense of squeezing, we often forget to breathe. And it doesn't have to be your fullest, most expansive breath, but just keep breathing. And then letting that go. Bring your hands onto the outside of your knees and resist the pressure. So press against your knees, but instead of your knees coming together, press against your hands. So you're resisting your hands trying to push your knees in. That's really good, these 2 little movements for any sciatic pain. Remember to breathe. In through your nose, out through your nose. And then let that go. Shift your weight forward towards the front of the chair. So you can move one sitting bone and then the other. You can hold on or not. Move your feet out in front a little bit and then extend one leg. Toes pointing up or up-ish. And then just let the pinky toe fall down and then come back up to center. So we're just getting a little bit of external rotation in that hip. We'll be moving into a figure 4. So we want to suggest the idea to our hip that this is happening. Don't want to spring it on you. And these little movements done throughout the day can be really helpful in building some mobility and range of motion in your hips. The next time the toes are out, stay there. And you have a couple of options here. So you can slide the other foot forward and bring that the heels together for a figure four. Or you can bring that right foot on top of the shin. Or you can bring it up towards the above the knee. And then maybe bend the knee. So, and don't worry if this knee isn't completely flat. Mine isn't either. It's just the way my hips are. If your foot is turning, where you can kind of see the sole of your foot, flex the foot and press the sole of the foot to the side of the room. Otherwise, we're getting a great stretch on the outside of the ankle, but not for the hip. Take a breath here. And then as you exhale, you can grab onto the legs of the chair and push that foot a little bit farther out to the left. You can kind of rock it back and forth, pushing the foot out and then sliding it back, or you can just keep it there. Finding and building mobility in the hips is another good thing for your pelvic floor health. Another breath here. And then let that go. So you can get out of this the same way you came in by extending that leg and sliding it down, or you can step your foot off. Other side, the left leg extends and the toes are pointing maybe skyward or intending to anyway. And then let the toes on the pinky side just drift down and back up. You may notice some differences in what you're feeling on this side as opposed to the other side. It's okay. The next time that your foot is turned out at a diagonal, stay there. You can slide the right leg forward and just bring the heels together so you've got this little bend of a knee, or bring the foot on top. Or slide it up above the knee, possibly bend your knee. So you may notice that this knee is in a different position than the knee on the other side. Take a look at your foot. If you've got it kind of turned inward, flex the foot and press it farther towards the right. You'll feel a deeper stretch in your hip. That might not feel comfortable. But take some time here to breathe. And remember, you can always kind of go back and forth, pressing it out and then bringing it back. But breathe here as full and deep as you can in this pose. Take one more breath here. Let it go. And then come out of this pose whatever way you'd like to. Repeat the way you got into it, or just step your foot down. And while we're here, separate your feet so that they're a little bit wider than your chair. Hang on to the chair and bring your knees from side to side. Let's just wake them up a little bit and give your hips a little snack. Come back to center, toe heel your feet back in. And we're going to do a simple march. So if you'd like to use a strap for this, you can. Um, but it's lifting one leg. We're going to stay on the same side. So you can use a strap to lift or lift it without a strap. If you're using a strap, try not to tug on it. Try to have a combination of the strap helping your effort to already lift. Exhale at the most exerting part. So that would be on the lifting up. Inhaling as you lower the foot, exhaling as you lift. And now we're going to move to the other side. So if you're using a strap, just bring it to the other side. If you're not using a strap, hands can be anywhere on your thighs. Exhale as you lift, inhale as you lower. And you'll feel your abdominal muscles and your diaphragm engage when you exhale on the lift. Let's do a couple more. And then we're going to move into a contralateral movement. Contralateral movement is when you are extending your right and your left side, opposite sides of your body. If you have a block, you can grab it. If you don't, we'll just use your hand. So we're going to place the block on your left thigh and bring your right hand to it. This will be the most difficult part. And then the other hand, your left hand can come, maybe just let it sit on your shoulder. And we're going to lift the right leg and the left arm. So take a breath here. And as you exhale, the right knee lifts, the left arm lifts, and then bring it back down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. And then inhale, lower. Continue. So if you've ever done a sunbird where the left leg and the right arm are extended, this is the version of that for the pelvic floor. It's also good for your low back. Now, if you've got a block, or even if you've got your hand, consider pressing into the block or pressing your hand into your thigh. Create a little bit more tension as we do this movement. And if you were doing this just as not part of a yoga practice, but just as something you're doing individually, you would do this to exhaustion. So however many that is for you on any given day. But for us right now, we're just going to do one more. And then lower down and we'll switch. So take the block, or maybe it's just your hand. Right hand to the shoulder. And then lift the left knee this time, and the right hand goes up. Lifting on the exhale. You can go as slow as you'd like. You can even hold at the top if you'd like. But with either your hand on the block or your hand on the thigh, press down. You might feel really subtle change in how your body expresses itself during this movement. Exhaling as you lift, inhaling as you lower. Really great for the pelvic floor, for your low back. One more. And then lower down. And just give yourself kind of an all over, all body shake. Just get it all out. Any built up tension, anything that just feels like you have to let it go. Go ahead and take a moment to do that now. Before we move into a couple of psoas stretches, we're going to reintroduce the spinal or the rib cage rotation. So bring your forearms down to the tops of your thighs and bring your right hand to your hip. And then your left hand can grab a hold of the other leg. So your forearm is right across the front. Hand to the shoulder or behind your head. Take a breath in, lift open to the right. Exhale, come back down. Shoulder can or elbow can stay out. It can point down. It can tap the top of the hand or tap the opposite knee. Breathe in. We'll do 5. Breathe out 2. Breathe in. Breathe out 3. Breathe in. Breathe out 4. Last breath. Breathe out 5. Inhale, come all the way back out and up. One last time. You can extend the arm up or out or bring it back down. And just take a nice deep full breath here. And exhale. Come back to center. Both forearms come down. Left hand to your hip. And then just pivot that elbow so your right hand grabs above the left knee. Keep your hand on your hip, your shoulder, the back of your head, and inhale. Open up to the left. And as you exhale, choose your adventure. The elbow points out, the elbow points down. It taps the top of the right hand, or it taps the top of the right knee. Breathe in. We'll do 5. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Breathe in. Breathe out 3. Breathe in. Breathe out 4. Breathe in. Breathe out 5. Inhale one last time, all the way out and up. Extend the arm. Bring it down so it's pointing out to the side, or just let it dangle, whatever feels good. And as you exhale, spin back to center and press yourself up. We're going to move into a couple of stretches for the psoas, so the hip flexors. And we're going to do it a little bit different this time. Usually we use the chair, like let's just say for warrior 2. We sit like this. This time, we're going to use the corners of our chair. So, scoot your seat over towards the right. And then just step the leg back and extend it. You can press down. Let me move this so you can see. Press down with the outside edge of the foot and toe heel the right or the left foot, excuse me, as far as it can comfortably go. We're going to tuck our tail slightly and then press down with your right foot and squeeze the right glute as much as you can. You might not feel much engagement, but imagine that you are. Imagine you're squeezing it just as tight as possible. Take a breath here, and we're going to extend our arms into Warrior Two, looking over the left fingertips. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Keep squeezing the glute of the right leg. Breathe out 2. Breathe in. As you breathe out 3, flip the palm of the left hand. Let the right hand drop down on the outside edge of your right leg. And inhale, that arm comes up for reverse warrior. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Last breath. As you breathe out 3, come all the way back up. Hands can come onto the chair, and we're going to turn to face the left knee. So if you wanted to bring your knee down to a block here, you could, or you can keep it extended. Up on the toes, if that's okay, or turn the foot. So now we're facing the left knee. Lean forward, keep a flat back. We don't have to come way down. It's just a slight lean. But squeeze the glute again of this back leg. You might not feel much happening. Imagine that it is. Extend the right arm, and then let the right arm travel over towards the left. You're getting a little bit of a diagonal or a rotation in your ribs, but you're feeling the stretch in the front of the right leg. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Breathe in. Breathe out 3. Keep squeezing that glute. Both hands come down and press yourself back up. And then in whatever way works for you, you can toe heel these feet in, come back to center, and scoot over to the other side. And when this kind of left butt cheek falls off the chair, then you're at the right angle. Extend the left leg, toe heel the right foot all the way over as far as you can. And press down with the right foot. Your foot can be in any angle. And squeeze the left glute this time. Tuck the tail slightly and extend the arms into Warrior Two. Looking over the right fingertips, breathe in. Breathe out 1. Keep squeezing the glute of that back leg. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Breathe in. Breathe out 3. Flip the front palm. Let the left arm drift down to the back of the left leg, and on your inhale, maybe lift that right arm up. Slight back bend. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. You can always hold on to the chair as well. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Breathe in. Breathe out 3. Bring that hand down. And then turn so that you're facing this right knee and spin up onto those back toes. Or keep the foot flat. So whatever feels okay to you. So hinge slightly at the hips. Keep a back that's relatively flat. Reach forward with the left hand. And then let the left hand drift over towards the right. Just a little bit. We're just getting a little bit of rotation in the rib cage. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Try to send your breath into the front of that left leg. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Breathe in. Breathe out 3. Both hands come down. Inhale, come all the way up. Turn to face the center of the chair and just toe heel or slide your feet together. If you've got a block, go ahead and grab it. And put it on the right side of your chair. We're going to go back to that side stretch that we did in the beginning when we said, remember what this feels like? So, right hand, bring it down towards the block. You'll feel yourself start to tip. Keep both sitting bones on the seat of your chair and extend into this side stretch. A little bit deeper than the one we did before. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Maybe turn your head to look underneath that arm. Breathe out 2. Breathe in. As you breathe out 3, if you're looking under your arm, just look back towards the center of the room. And you can bring your arm down. But as you sit up, grab your block and bring it with you if you have, if you have a block, and place it in the center. A foot on either side of that block. Left hand comes down on the block, right hand reaches out and up. Take a breath. And let it go. Take another breath here. And let it go. Right hand comes down, put it on the block. Left arm comes all the way out and up. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. The end of your exhale, the left hand comes down. Grab the block with your left hand, sit up, and place it on the left side of your chair. Hand come on the block, or, you grab the edge of your chair. Make sure both sitting bones are still on your chair, and lift that right arm up and over, or wherever it feels good for you today. Breathing all along the right side ribs. Breathe in. Breathe out 1. Breathe in. Breathe out 2. Inhale, come all the way back up, grab your block, put it back between your legs. Hands can be on the block, but let's bring our legs, our feet out wide so our knees really separate. And we're just going to take some time here. We'll sit like this. And if you want to scoot your seat towards the back of the chair, that might work. You can put your block on whatever height you need. If you're not using a block, then use the arms of your chair, or the legs of your chair. So you can be up at the top. If you've got a rung, you can be here. Grab anywhere along the sides, or hands on the floor. If you feel your back really round, then use some sort of support or bring your hands up higher. Now, everyone is different, so just do a little self-assessment. But if you are not prone to dizziness and you'd like to release your neck and let your head get heavy, go ahead and do that. And then on your next inhale, if your head is dropped, bring the back of your head in line with your spine. Hands can come onto the chair. You can move your block away and just start to press yourself up. You can remain here with your legs wide and put the back of your hand on either side of the inside of your knees. Squeeze the knees towards the hand, push the hands towards the knees. Breathe in and let it go. 2 more at your own pace. Toe peeling your feet in together or just moving them together. And this time sitting right towards the back of your chair, still trying to keep a straight spine. But you can lean back into it if you'd like. Let your eyes drift down to the floor, or you can close your eyes or find a gazing point somewhere in the middle distance. If you'd like to place a hand on your belly and a hand on your heart. If you set an intention for your practice today, you can recall it now. If you did not set an intention, just sit with the feeling of your body right now, the energy that's been moving through your body with intention, all of that movement, letting your muscles and your tendons and your ligaments and fascia and organs, everything, letting it know that you are thinking of them, doing the best for them. And you could stay here for as long as you like. But if you're ready to bring your practice to a close, bring your hands together at heart center and lift your fingertips to your forehead. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Peace for the mind, peace for the body, and peace for the spirit. Thank you for sharing your yoga practice with me today.